Hello, besties! Welcome to Martinis with Eddie, your ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. First of all, happy 4th of July, and I hope you guys had an amazing day with your family. I actually did. I spent the time with my in-laws, and I got to make one of my favorite dishes that I brought as an appetizer. I made a lobster and shrimp ceviche. For those who don't know, ceviche is just like shrimp and lobster mixed with like tomato, onion, cilantro, um, and then jalapenos. And I squeeze lemons, on it, like a lot of lemon. It has to be very, very like lemony, so it kind of cooks, quote unquote, the shrimp and the lobster. It was a success. I actually just had like seconds today because I needed an extra push of like that deliciousness of seafood. Um, what is also fresh, it's the rumor that we're going to be talking about today because I want to address this in a different way. I want to give you my take as we go over the way that this like unfold over the weekend. Uh, as you guys know, People's Magazine released an article saying that Kyle and Mauricio Mansky from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills were separating, right? I was shocked, to be honest. I mean, I know that we've been talking about these rumors about Mauricio, having you know girls all over the country for many seasons, and a lot of people take it seriously. Some other people don't take it seriously because they believe that Kyle and Mauricio have a great marriage. Um, but for the course of like the last year, there has been a weird dynamic, especially on their social medias, because um, previously they were very like in love on socials, like posting about each other, the long posts and about how much they love each other. Then they started to become more genetic and like one lines and barely appearing on each other's Instagram recently. A lot of the posts, somebody point out that Kyle and Mauricio were kind of rehashing or reusing old photos to their new post about each other. Like even when Kyle posted about Father's Day, it seems to be like it wasn't as warm as it used to be a year ago. On this article for People's Magazine, it says that the separation was amicable and they were living in their house together still. Then the internet broke loose, and I felt like I was going through Scandal 2.0, where no matter what, you wanted to find out what truly happened. And there has been many accounts talking about Kyle and a friend. I want to address that because I know a lot of people are so invested on trying to out Kyle and this woman who's a country singer. I believe it or not, I haven't really digest the full story. Morgan, I even forget her name. The reason why I have not been invested on all this is because a I find trying to out somebody without their consent very distasteful. And I want to start with that. I want to start by saying if somebody hasn't come out on their own terms, on their own time, please do not try to out them. It is so, it's triggering for me. as a gay man is really triggering. And I'm gonna share just a couple of stories. I want to start with saying that before I came out, before I was happy to be myself in public, many people that were supposed to be my friends, they will go to my family members trying to insinuate stuff to them, trying to say that I was trying to, live a double life, which was not true because until the point where I actually came out, I didn't engaged on anything sexual or romantic with any other man. But knowing that people who were close to me were trying to do that was very painful. So now I now multiply that to a platform that has many followers, trying to out you. You don't know if, I mean, we don't know if Kyle and this woman, Morgan, right, are actually an item. We don't know that. We are also insinuating this with such a very almost kind of making fun of it. I've seen it on Twitter a lot where people take this as a joke. And I don't care if you are part of the LGBTQIA community, you do not joke about somebody's journey in their self discover, right? Um, if this situation was just a simple like breakup, I will be more engaging into this whole thing. I actually cannot believe that in the past 2 days, I've been defending Kyle Richards pretty much to everybody, which is kind of weird because everybody knows that Kyle is not even my favorite housewife from Beverly Hills. I do not care for Kyle that much to consider myself like a fan. Let alone somebody who hate her. Do not hate Kyle Richards. I do not dislike her, but she's not my favorite person on the show. Um, but to see people trying to make this a huge scandal, trying to um, push a story in the Bravo sphere that Kyle and this woman Morgan might have a relationship, to me is extremely tacky. And I see many content creators that I absolutely adore, and I do not want to tell them how to manage their own platforms. But one thing that I'm not going to do, it's to engage and entertain in this narrative. You know, if you check my Twitter, if you check my Instagram, I have not mentioned once these rumors. I only posted one thing, and it was, what's it called? That scene from the Dinner from Hell when Alison Dubois said like he's not gonna fulfill you. Know that. That's the only thing that I posted saying I cannot believe all these rumors that are happening. What is truly happening? I didn't mention Morgan by name. I didn't mention any lesbian or bisexual rumors. None of that because that is nobody's business. I remember when Kyle was trying to do the same to Denise. When Kyle and the other ladies were following Branda's, um, you know, whatever allegations that she had in one night stand with Denise Richards, and Denise kept asking them to please stop talking about it. That they didn't even know if that actually was true, and that can cause an issue in her household. That to me was disgusting. The fact that they went with it, the fact that Lisa Rinna made fun of Denise every chance that she had. She posted many freaking tweets and stuff like calling them the Caesar sisters, that she eat pussy and all this stuff. And at that point, I was so disappointed of some people that have big platforms and allow this to happen and engage with it and gave it kind of like fire on social media. I don't want to call people by their names or by their handle accounts, but if you were paying attention back then, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. So when the whole Denise happened, I was very vocal saying, please do not out people. It's not nobody's business. This is the same thing that I'm doing right now, even though Kyle was involved in that. Um, when Kyle was involved on this whole Denise uh, drama and storyline with Brandy, and she was trying to get that out really badly. I choose to even defend her this time because once again, it's nobody's business. If Kyle is doing it, it's not up to us for her to for us to get the truth. It's up to Kyle to decide when she wants to make it public or if she wants to make it public. Once again, when it comes to um, a journey of self-discovery, that is people's very personal, steps to take. Somebody said to me that I was very engaged on the scandal of it all, and I was very anti Tom Sandoval and anti Raquel, and yes, I damn for sure was, but you cannot compare what happened with Raquel and Tom to alluding and insinuating that a woman is having an affair with another woman. It's not the same, especially if that woman has never even mentioned anything like that. If it was Brandy, I would be more interested or more sure on my commentary because Brandy has been very outspoken on her bisexuality and the fact that she's attracted to women and stuff like that. So that's different. But in this case, unless I missed the memo and I maybe went into my junk mail, I never got the news that that Kyle came out in any form or anything. So for people to keep trying to push this, it's gross. And even worse when the content creator is not part of the LGBTQIA community. It's even more um, problematic and disappointing. If you are a straight woman, if you are a straight man who make content and you are engaging with this type of conversation, I need you to first off to stop, second, educate yourself about how damaging can be to create a narrative around somebody's sexuality without proper a proof, b this person being the one who decide when to come out. When Kyle openly admits to this relationship, that's when you will know how I feel about the whole Morgan thing. To me, they are just two friends. They are just two friends. That's all I know, and that's all I care to know. You know, it's strange for a straight woman to have a friendship, a close friendship with an LGBTQIA woman because I'm not even sure. I'm not sure how Morgan identify herself. So I'm not going to call her any names. I'm not sure. I had never heard about this woman before, you know. So somebody posted a video of what is supposed to be one of her exes um, on TikTok, which at least give me idea that the Morgan has maybe engaged with a relationship with another woman. That's all I know. And I saw the video today. I saw on Instagram somebody screen grabbed it from TikTok, and I watched it, and the woman kept saying that her ex was with somebody else at some concert that she went to support her or something, and that's all I know. I need people to stop playing Nancy Drew with this. Like, give Kyle the time that she needs to either deny it or confirm it. But it's once again not up to anyone to please create this, because as a gay man who got uh I wasn't outed by anybody. I took my time, but many people tried to out me to friends, to family before I was ready to know who I was. So it's triggering. And I'm pretty sure many people feel that way too. I seen people from that community, content creators who I know are part of the LGBTQIA community, and I seen them engaging in this and making it like some kind of like, oh my gosh, um, the ultimate girls trip, lesbian edition, and they include Kyle's name. I'm like, that is not funny. That is absolutely not funny. And it shows that even though we walk the same path of self-discovery in some level, some people don't have the understanding that that is actually part of the problem that we deal as a community. You know, we have to allow people to come to themselves and get to know themselves on their own terms. So that's my take. I wanted to talk about the whole Morgan Kyle on social media situation, because that's allegedly what most people are alluding of why they are getting separated or not. So People Magazine released that article on July 3rd, right before July 4th. A lot of people were saying that they were trying to, once again, find a holiday or something to kind of like talk, but not like go out of control. But as we all know now, that doesn't work in the Bravo sphere. The same thing happened when Erica Jane was trying to file for divorce on election day. She thought that she was going to like it wasn't gonna be noticed, and she was gonna like be under the radar. She was wrong, and it became news even when the election was going. So for people trying to release the article the day before Independence Day, it seems like they were trying to kind of like let's talk about it, but I know you are too busy with your family, so maybe you will talk about it later on. This is what I'm doing too. I was like, I'm gonna make my post on Twitter about it. I'm gonna make it on my Instagram, and I'm gonna save my thoughts for after July 4th. So it gives me time to create a like a reasonable uh, take on this whole situation, because I noticed that everybody was rushing to create TikToks and rushing to create videos and breaking news, and oh my gosh, I'm like, let's give this stuff time, because we don't know anything about this. And I'm happy that I gave this time, because at midnight that night, that the same day that the articles came out, I was awake around midnight, and Kyle dropped a message for everybody, and it was like a dual post from Kyle and Mauricio, and it reads like this. I want to share with you guys verbatim. They posted, in regards to the news that came out about us today, any claims regarding us divorcing are untrue. However, yes, we have had a rough year, the most challenging one of our marriage, but we both love and respect each other tremendously. There has been no wrongdoing on anyone's part. Although we are in the public eye, we ask to be able to work through our issues privately. While it might be entertaining to speculate, please do not create false stories to fit a further salacious narrative. Thank you for the love and support, Kyle and Mauricio. And that's it. That should have been the end for everything. And still, I see people trying to push this whole Morgan thing. It's very important to understand the word salacious narrative. We don't want people to feel like they can't be themselves because people are trying to force them with stories that people are creating out of thin air. You know, you can't talk about like a timeline when Kyle and Mauricio seem off as a couple. That's completely, fair. Um, they posted some pictures on July 4th, and obviously I went through them to see the vibes of the picture. And yeah, some pictures they seem very happy with their kids, and they posted another photo, and the body language is kind of questionable, but they said it. They are going through a difficult year, and that to me is maybe because I'm married and I've been through difficult time in my marriage too. I don't find that is scandalous. I don't find that difficult to believe. I um I don't think any marriage, by that matter, is perfect. Whoever think that there's a perfect marriage or a perfect relationship, they are fooling themselves. That is 100% my opinion and truth. I've been married for 5 years now, and there has been time that it's fucking nuts, and I just want to freaking break every single window in my house. But that doesn't mean that we are going to divorce. That means that we take our time and work things out because we know that what we have is worth it to fight for, you know? And that's how I feel about this message from Kyle. Once again, I cannot believe that I'm defending Kyle. I cannot believe that I'm defending Kyle. Or I'm like trying to explain people that this situation is not the same when people are trying to allude at her cheating on Mauricio with somebody of the same sex. It's not the same as Scandal. It's not the same as Monique and from Potomac. It's not the same. If Mauricio and Kyle get divorced, fine, we'll talk about that stuff. Because over the years, we had seen some red flags in their marriage. That is nothing like out of reach. We've seen it on the show. We've seen it like on social media. She said that this year has been very difficult for them, and like I said before, if you look at their social medias, um, there is a point where those like lovey-dovey posts stop. Literally stop. They've been together for 27 years. That to me seems like a fucking lifetime, though. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It seems like freaking long ass time to be with the same person. At the same time, if they've been together for that long, something is working or work for them. Because there's also many rumors of like open relationship, open marriage, or whatever. And I'm like, if that's the case, if they had an open marriage, that is nobody's business once again. Because I'm a firm believer that each marriage and each relationship is allowed to have their own set of rules and their own set of boundaries. You know, not everybody is out here believing that you have to be with one person forever and ever, and that if you look at somebody else, you are cheating immediately. No, we don't know. We don't know what this couple have. I don't know if you guys have seen Sex and the City, the movie, the first, no, the second one, right? Yeah. Um, and they're arguing about it, and the whole point was that they were not gonna have kids, and um, a couple were kind of like weird, saying like, "Why you're not gonna have kids? Like, just the two of you guys?" He said, "Yeah, just the two of us. That's what we want as a couple, and that is enough." So that's the whole point of being with somebody. The whole point of being in a marriage is to be able to understand that each side of the coin have different needs, have different goals in life, have different paths to walk. That when you are married, you are walking this um, in a way that you understand that each person in a couple, it's a, a unity, but as an unity too, each person is an individual, um, and maybe that's why there's so many rumors about them too. We don't know if Mauricio and Kyle really have an open marriage. We don't know that for sure. But if they did, good for them. That is their business. So when she released that note at midnight, which by the time I was just, it was like around midnight, almost 1 in the morning, because I was up, you know, getting stuff ready for the 4th of July, because I'm a crazy person. I need to decorate. I need to make sure that the house is good. If we are having people over, it has to be like immaculate. Like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to hosting anything. And we were gonna have uh, our neighbors over for brunch before we head over my in-laws. So, but we didn't do anything like that because the time was like too crazy. The weather was not helping. And anyways, that's it was a little crazy. But I was up until really late, and I got the notification that she released this statement, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's probably like around 11, no, 10 p.m. at night in in the West Coast. That's where she is. But then I realized that she was also in Aspen. The next day, like I said before, they posted many pictures together, many videos and stuff. And even though it felt forced, I can see why. Um, a lot of people are pointing that out, that after many months, almost a year of not posting anything together in their socials, suddenly on 4th of July, like they post like where they were, the restaurant, the parade, a picture with the kids, picture with the girls, and all this stuff. It seems a little forced, yes, but I mean, based on the news, I don't blame them. I mean, I think it's very hard to go through any ups and downs in a marriage when you are in a public figure, um, which makes me wonder if Kyle's and Mauricio's camp approved the article from People magazine. Like, I mean, from the PR perspective, could go anyway, right? Maybe they were okay with it, but then they regretted it. Maybe they said like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it, and they gave the article the green light, and then they realized that instead of helping their case, was making it worse. Um, Maybe, just maybe, People magazine just went ahead and did it without their consent, and whatever source they used was the one who gave them the information, and they run the article. It's a possibility. Or simply they want chatter before the Housewife of Beverly Hills air. But if you ask me, from the perspective of production, if you ask me if it was smart to release this article on July 3rd when the season starts in November, that doesn't make any freaking sense. Because by the time that we get to the premiere, this news are gonna be really fucking old news. For real. And this is not like scandal in that level, because they are not even living in different homes. They are not going through a rough separation. They seem to be friendly. They still at least pretending that they are okay. So there's no point for like Bravo to pick up cameras and trying to follow them and trying to see how their marriage falls apart. I mean, there's no point on that. So I do not understand the purpose of this if Kyle and Mauricio were okay with the article. I don't see what is the point. If somebody has an idea, please let me know because I want to know. I'm trying to understand from the PR perspective. Like I also posted on my Twitter, and I was very clear that my intention was to understand their financial life because I don't know about you guys, but I know the marriage is not just about love. I'm not stupid. I'm not five. I I don't think on like, oh, I'm gonna just jump in a horse and ride into the horizon while the sunset is coming down. That is cute and everything in the movies, but we all know the marriage is also a business. It's also paper that you sign that you understand there is money involved, there is real estate involved, there's bank accounts, there is all the stuff. So please stop pretending the marriage is just about love because that is high school. Like please, let's be honest. We are grown-ups here. So my question on Twitter was, and I'm gonna read it because I want to know your opinion. Some people were trying to make me feel like my question was um, kind of like pushing the idea of a divorce without being announced. When the article was published, this is when the article was published, right? They talk about separation, and they seemed like they were heading to divorceville. Um, so I posted, okay, this is the tweet. They are worth $100 million. Is it gonna be split in half? Who is getting the house in Encino and who is getting the house in Aspen? Did they have a prenup? I need to know because love is cute, but money talks, especially in Beverly Hills. Hashtag RHOBH. That was my post. Obviously, that was before Kyle released her statement, right? And some people were trying to say that I was already, calling them as if they were going to get divorced. If you see on my post, I was just generically talking about their. Um, it was just a general question about their financial life because it's $100 million net worth, and based on the California law, it will go 50-50. Also, what it kind of caught my attention was that they got a mortgage on their home for I think it was over $5 million, and I found that very interesting because a lot of times when that happened in the middle of a separation, it's because they might be going on or they might be considering seriously to get divorced, but you can't take a mortgage on your house if the marriage is not stable. It's not a smart business move from a bank to do that, to like allow a mortgage on a marriage that is going to fail very soon. You know what I'm saying? So based on the stuff that I read online, which kind of makes sense, um, the reason why this mortgage was taken out on their home is not that they don't have money. I mean, they are worth $100 million. But let's not forget that the person who was making the most money in that relationship was Mauricio Umansky with the agency, right? So this mortgage will be a way for Kyle to buy out Mauricio from their home, meaning for her to keep the house. So she buys his side, she stays in the house, and she just continue paying the mortgage on her own. Because once again, Kyle might have some money, right? But I'm sure that she doesn't make anywhere close to what Mauricio makes. I mean, we gotta be honest. I mean, she makes what, like $1 million per season, or maybe more now on Beverly Hills. And I'm trying to think what else she has going on. Maybe the endorsements with Amazon and all this stuff. But that is nowhere near close to the money that Mauricio makes with the real estate empire that he created because of Kyle. Because Kyle introduced him to, Rick Hilton, and that's where he got his foot into the door in the real estate world in Beverly Hills. So, yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I see all this stuff. I see all these little puzzles. And I'm not saying that they are going down the divorce uh, route. That's not what I'm saying. They said that they're working on it. And I really hope they do. Um, Being in a marriage for 27 years seems to me like whatever they were doing was working. But maybe because I love money, maybe because I like financial stuff, and maybe because I mean, I'm not dumb to believe that people get divorced and get nothing. I was just wondering if they were going to sign the divorce papers, who was gonna get what? I want to know if that ever happened. I want to know who gets what. I was also made aware that they don't have a prenup, right? I mean, when they got married, they didn't have that much money. Actually, when they started Beverly Hills, the show, they were not even the richest person on the show. They were actually probably the least wealthy of them all. Lisa Vanderpump was wealthy. Uh, Adrienne Malouf was wealthy. Even Taylor was, I think, richer than Kyle. I think the only person who wasn't richer than Kyle was her own sister, Kim, when the show started. Camille was way, way wealthier than her. And Camille got a good payout when she got divorced. She got the money too. She got the bag. I mean, people can say whatever about Camille, but Camille knew how to play that. I mean, when it came down to the divorce. So yeah, I mean, if you look back, it's a whole 180 on their financials. Season one through like half of the season until like maybe later on when Mauricio decided to go on his own. That's when they started to see a change in their social position in Beverly Hills. I mean, I was watching. It's funny because I was watching The Simple Life today, and the first episode on the pilot, and Kyle Richards, it's like one of the few people they interview before Paris and Nicole leave for their trip to whatever little middle town in America, whatever they went to. And Kyle looks like a whole different person. And you knew Kyle because she was Paris Hilton's aunt or Kathy Hilton's sister. And you can tell that she was nowhere near of the amount of wealth that the Hilton have. I'm just really intrigued. What I'm going to keep watching is the development of their social medias. That's what I'm going to watch. I want to see how they go from posting a lot without each other to maybe trying to post more often to kind of quiet the rumors. Once again, like I said at the beginning, I do not care for Kyle and Morgan at all. Until Kyle decides to either confirm or deny the rumors. To me, they are just two friends. And I will appreciate if other content creators take the same route and stop talking about somebody's sexuality when this person is not out, and nobody should be pushing nobody out, and people should allow them to find their own time. It's nobody's got and that's the part that I'm the most protective with this whole Kyle thing. If people will stop talking about it, I will appreciate it. Like the whole rumor of like a romance with Morgan. Like, why is it so? Um, why haven't we learned that pushing somebody out of the closet is not what people who support the LGBTQI community should be doing? People who say that, yeah, I'm an ally, but you are trying to out somebody without their consent and without them being the people who tell you. You don't have to be asking the goddamn question, trying to tag. And this is the part that I get more upset about. Some people have taken the time to like go and start like finding dates. Oh, the tattoo, the matching tattoos. And like, yeah, who gives a damn? Until Kyle doesn't say on her own, just let it be. Let it be. Because you don't know what type of damage simple words and um, trying to have the tea or the hot gossip on somebody's sexuality is not it's it's not I don't know, it to me it's so freaking tacky, man. It's like, let people live, and they will, if if the rumors are true, Kyle will find the way to, you know, say it. Because I remember when Chriselle from Selling Sunset came out on her own terms, and nobody was like trying to like find out who like G was or anything. It just happened, and she was like, you know what, this is what's happening in my life. I met this person, I fell in love with this person. It happened that it was somebody of this my same sex. That's what we need to let Kyle do. If she is in love with this person or if she's having an affair, she will tell. I mean, she knows that she's in the public eye. She knows that this might be coming out somehow. But trying to force it and trying to use it as like this clickbait on your content, to me is very distasteful and disrespectful to people like me who struggle to come out. That have people trying to force me out of the closet, trying to like tell my parents or whatever. It's like I said at the beginning, it's triggering. So I'm Team Kyle on this one, guys. I'm Team Kyle, and you guys are making me Team Kyle. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, I would have never expect that on my bingo card, on the 2023 bingo card. Like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted just trying to defend Kyle. Like, Jesus freaking Christ. Like, yeah, like marriages come and go. Marriages can fall apart at any time, but um and talk about it. Just talk about it. Just talk about them getting separated. Because as you can see, I've been here for almost 45 minutes, and um, most of the time I've been trying to talk about their separation as an event in the Bravo universe. I'm not trying to use my time to find tips and gossip and rumors and the picture and the tattoo. I don't care, because we can talk about their separation. We can talk about their struggle in their marriage that we had seen on this show for many years, and they tried to cover it because production and the editors loved them. Because that's the truth. I mean, a lot of the times, all these rumors that we had seen about Mauricio, uh, getting involved with like all the women, all the stuff, uh, get brushed on the rug because Kyle is very loved in the production. She has had you know a lot to do with how Beverly Hills has been going on for many years, you know? So we can talk about all this stuff without having to make this as a gotcha moment of somebody's sexuality. That's just my point of view. Like Kain Cordova just said here, allegedly, I'm gonna say this allegedly because I don't want to get a cease and desist letter, but Kain Cordova said like Mauricio is the cheater. And I'm saying allegedly because we had seen those rumors on the on the gossip columns and the magazine for many years. Oh, the girl walking around in Beverly Hills, a picture of Mauricio with like walking down the street, and there was somebody by his side and all this stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean there are plenty topics that we can talk about on this separation that does not involve Kyle and the country singer. You know, that's just my opinion. It's it's been quite the past 2 days because it's interesting that a lot of people spend 4th of July creating like little memes or like funny post about, you know, her friendship with Morgan. So maybe people need to just go outside and touch some green grass just for a change. That's why I waited until July 5th to talk about it because I can sit down here and have my time. I spend time with my family. I ate delicious ceviche. We have burgers, hot dogs. It was a great 4th of July. And I'm ready to go back to work with Martini with Eddie the podcast, which by the way, I mentioned this last week and I want to remind you guys that I'm going to start a membership only section on my YouTube channel where I'm going to be dropping a weekly video where I'm going to be recapping and talking about the top 10 Beverly Hills episodes. I have a list that I crafted with the best 10 episodes of the last 13 seasons. And and I'm excited, but it's going to be released on a members only section in my YouTube channel because many people are asking me how can they support the podcast, and I always say like I have, you know, buy me a coffee account. Now I have the super thank yous on YouTube. I have the membership section too on YouTube. For those who don't know, super thank yous are just like a little. You can send like $1, $2, whatever, and you send like a thank you note, and I will appreciate it. I mean, it will help me to keep creating great content. Also, like I mentioned before, the membership section is going to have not only this top 10 recap video that I'm making, it's also going to have like behind the scenes with Bravo Labs. All the videos from Bravo Comps are going to be premiere on that section, but I'm also going to obviously release them a month later on just regular, you know, channel. So, because I understand that we have way too many membership for like Netflix, Hulu, Discover Plus, or like Max and Peacock and all this stuff. So, so I understand. I completely understand. So, it just means that you're gonna have access to all those like exclusive contents way before. Obviously, there's some content gonna be exclusively for the membership. Um, I'm also releasing new merchandise next week. Now that I'm back full force on after the holiday weekend, I'm also going to be creating a special video for my Bravo News, and this one of my favorite people from Summer House is coming to my podcast on July 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's Sam from Summer House. The real life Barbie is joining me at 1 p.m. on Easter time here on Martini with Eddie. We're gonna be talking about everything about Summer House last season, her life before Summer House, and how she's doing right now. Now that the season is over, don't be too excited about any tea from the season that is filming because, as you guys know, they can't talk about it. So we can't ask any questions about it. But if you have anything that you want to ask about anything you want to ask about Summer House or anything that you want to know about Sam, please join me on July 17th at 1 p.m. Easter time. And with that said, you guys, I just want to thank you for being here, for listening to my freaking crazy, opinions. But if you are enjoying those takes and those opinions, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast. And very, very important, a big favor that I want to ask you guys is that if you are really liking and enjoying these takes, please leave a rate on my podcast because that helps us podcasters to survive in this sea of content creators. If you want extra tea, make sure to subscribe to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I also have my merch store on martinezwitheddie.com, my own website. And yeah, this weekend we get Crappy Lake, you guys. I'm very excited. One of my favorite shows is The Simple Life. That's like one of my all-time favorite shows. It's like my happy place. When I'm depressed, I always put it on. So I'm excited that Bravo is giving us a Bravo version of that show. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see Sonia and Luen just doing the most random stuff in rural America. On Friday, I'm gonna obviously recap Orange County. It's on tonight, and I'll be talking about it. It seems like Tamra and Heather's, moment of like fight, or what starts the fight between Tamra and Heather, comes out tonight. And Heather she was talking on Twitter. She was talking. I posted on my Instagram. She said that, somebody posted that Tamra talks about how Heather was, bad mouthing Gina behind the cameras, and Heather says like that's not true. That never happened. So the girls are fighting, and we're gonna see that tonight. And I'll be here on Friday to make sure that we talk about Orange County. Okay, you guys, have a great night. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, please subscribe. That's all I can ask you guys. And like I always say, bye, besties.